What's up everybody and welcome to a new video. Now in search for finding the funniest thing I could make a video on, I was in the mood for something a little funny. I just went on YouTube and typed in the word atheist. I wanted to see what the current talk was around town about what those atheists are up to. And YouTube currently prioritizes shorts. I guess I should be making those. The first 5 videos, all of them that I watched were anti-atheist content. It was basically people asking questions of atheists, people making fun of atheists, people demonizing atheists, which is kind of ironic. We don't believe in demons. That's the joke. And some of these videos, guys, I just have to warn you, they may or may not kill a few brain cells. You will not get them back. They're dead and gone. God, I'm having a bad hair day. I'm breaking out. What's going on? So this first guy, he seems nice enough, but the questions, they're real bad.
So I've got 3 questions that I want to ask atheists, and these aren't gotcha questions.
No, they're not. They're really, really not.
I sincerely want to know the answer.
Off to a great start, dude. Let's keep going.
First question is, do you believe that God does not exist? So you kind of either have that belief or you don't. You either believe that God does not exist or you don't.
Oh, no, sir. Let's make this very clear. Atheism is not a belief system. It is the lack of a belief system. So let's say you don't have symptoms of something. You are asymptomatic. Atheist is just the lack of theism. It's the lack of a belief in God. It is not the belief that there is no God. I don't really go out of my way to believe there is no God. I just don't really have evidence for one, so I proceed with my life in a non-religious way, and that's it.
If you answered yes to that, then you're ready for the next question. The next question is...
So my first answer is no, to be clear. I guess I'm not ready for the next question then.
Do you believe in evidentialism? Evidentialism is the view that your beliefs ought to be proportioned to the evidence. You shouldn't just believe something without evidence.
Yes, I am an evidence-based person. And it's so funny because if you actually Google the definition of evidentialism, it actually brings up religion as an example. It says, for instance, evidentialism implies that the fact that believing in God would make you happy is not, thereby, a reason to believe that God exists. Thought that was kind of funny.
Those are the first 2 questions. You answered yes to both of those. If you have the belief that God does not exist, and you also believe in evidentialism, you're ready for the third question. The third question is, what is your evidence that justifies your belief that God does not exist?
Okay, it's not a belief. I'm so sorry. Atheism is not a belief.
What is your evidence that justifies your belief that God does not exist?
Okay, so the burden of proof is on the person making a claim. Atheists are not making a claim. We are not stating that for a fact God does not exist. We just don't believe the religious people when they do state for a fact that God does exist. We just reject that because we don't see evidence for it. See where I'm going with this? Leprechauns is the example I bring up all the time. Imagine me coming to someone and saying, hey, leprechauns are real, and someone saying, I don't think so. And me being like, well, where's your proof? I could say any crazy thing and you could tell me nuh-uh, and I could be like, well, where's your proof? You can do it with anything. And therefore, that is why, as it should be, the burden of proof lies on the person making the claim, not the person rejecting the claim, because there's not evidence. It's just fascinating to me how someone can sit there and make these claims about an atheist when they themselves hold so many extraordinary beliefs themselves. Some of the comments I thought were pretty funny. Even as a Christian, I find his questions dumb. It's like Amazon asking for proof that they didn't deliver your package. There's an invisible teapot orbiting Jupiter. Prove me wrong. Oh, you can't? Guess that means the teapot exists. That's basically your argument. As an atheist, it is not my job to find evidence of something not existing. Replace God with Superman, Spider-Man, or thousands of mythical creatures, and you'll see how dumb these questions are. And I will use this term how religious people have used it on me. Bless him. I don't think he means any harm. I think he genuinely thinks that he's asking solid questions here. And the reason for that is just that people haven't been educated on logical fallacies, on burden of proof, and on this particular topic, just the way that people who aren't religious think. All right, so that was the first YouTube short that I saw. This next clip was on YouTube, but it looks like it's from a TikTok. Those brain cells, say goodbye.
Quick question for you. If you're an atheist, why do you not believe in God? And if you don't believe in God because you say the book is written by man, why do you believe in evolution? Because that was also made up by a guy, I think.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. This is just the worst. I don't think I've seen anything quite that bad in a really long time. I think. There are no words. There are no words to I can't. I can't. I don't. Ugh. Jacqueline, be nice. Be nice. You can do it. You can be nice. Like I felt my last brain cell dying a very slow, painful death. Tippy, tell me what should I do? Hi, Tippy. I love you. But for real, my life is sort of crazy. I have so much going on. I have anxiety. I do procrastinate a lot. And sometimes it truly is hard to focus, especially when I'm watching things like this. Like, it hurts. One thing I started doing over the last month that has actually really helped me is I started trying Magic Mind. I have felt more alert, more able to focus. I've been able to get through stuff like this and not cry. All right, I just got on my Magic Mind. I'm going to try my first one today. Cheers to day one. Do more, stress less. I'll take that. I expected to hate the way that tasted. That's actually pretty good. Magic Mind has nootropics in it, which is really cool. It contains L-theanine, which is basically like nature's time-release caffeine. This is found in matcha and helps increase focus and attention. Now, I didn't film myself taking this every single day, but I got a lot of cute moments. And like I said, my days are busy and crazy, so I definitely need this boost.
Hi, I got the dinosaur.
He has a dinosaur, yes. Cheers.
It's good.
It's so good. I have noticed it helping me a lot, and I have been able to get my work done and be a mom, which basically makes me a superhero at this point. Will you shake it for mommy?
Shake it fast. Shake it fast.
Thank you. Cheers. I love you.
I love you, Mommy.
I love you, baby. I believe in superheroes because I am one. That's the evidence. Here I am. And I am an avid coffee drinker, but caffeine doesn't actually give you energy. What it does is it just blocks the adenosine neuroreceptors found in your brain, the neuroreceptors that tell you that you're tired. When the receptors unblock 1 to 3 hours later, you get the caffeine crash. We all know that. I like it.
Does your mind feel magical?
The L-theanine in matcha and in Magic Mind prevents the full blocking of receptors, giving you substantial energy without a crash. We both work from home and are trying to raise 2 very small kids, so we'll take all the help we can get. And we both have noticed a nice little boost, so I'm stoked. I'm really stoked. But if you try it and you're not for any reason, they do have a 60-day money-back guarantee. So please check it out. Supporting them supports my channel. Click the link in the description below and use my code JacquelineGlenn20. And I definitely am happy I took that because I'm about ready to get back into this girl's video and whew, I need the help. Someone help me, please. Send help.
Quick question for you. If you're an atheist, why do you not believe in God?
That for some people can be a pretty loaded question. For me, personally, it's because I don't see evidence of one.
And if you don't believe in God because you say the book is written by man, why do you believe in evolution? Because that was also made up by a guy, I think.
This is the worst video of all the ones I'm going to show you guys. This is the worst. The way she does this, it gets me. Evolution wasn't made up by a guy. He didn't make it up for funsies. There's something called research and compiling evidence and the scientific method and Darwin didn't like invent evolution and then find evidence for it. He found evidence that led him to come up with the theory of evolution that is scientific. Having to explain these things sometimes, man, it takes a lot out of you. Someone commented saying, that's like saying Sir Isaac Newton invented gravity. Exactly. Gravity! Hi, Atheist here. I don't believe in God because there's no evidence. I do believe in evolution because there are mountains of irrefutable evidence for it. And that's the thing, is like, even it's saying I believe in evolution, I have a problem with that. Like, yes, I accept evolution. Do I think that that's the most likely explanation for how things are the way that they are? Yes. If evidence was presented to me against it, I would not continue to think that way. Therefore, it's not like a belief system. You know what I mean? It's totally evidence-based. I would change my mind like that if someone could prove otherwise. And that's the beauty of science. None of it is a belief system. It's all based on evidence. And if the evidence is bad or new evidence replaces it, then great, we'll go there. No one cares. It's not like personal, you know?
I think.
I told you I was gonna try to be nice. I will try to be nice. If I read other people's comments though, that's like saying, if you're a religious person, that's like saying, I'm not judging you, it's God judging you. I'm not making mean comments. I'm just reading all these other people's comments that are hilarious and I'm going to laugh at. This woman has united everyone, atheists, agnostics, Christians, etc., all against her. Amazing what a common foe can do for us. As a Christian, I say this woman needs to be baptized with some knowledge. I want my fucking brain cells back. Oh look, see? We found evidence of something. She tested negative on an IQ test. Y'all. She's the type of person to fail a survey. God. Next we have Candace Owens. You guys know how much I love Candace Owens.
Do you believe atheists can get married? I think atheists get married because they want a tax break. I don't see the point in an atheist getting married.
Only religious people can get married, guys. Atheists can't get married or want a family or want to have like something that really solidifies your relationship with another person that you want to build a family with and have kids and I share the same name and have a house. And you know what? No, it's only if you love Jesus.
Why don't you just live with your partner, okay? Whoever it is that you're dating, you're at the stage you said, I don't know if you live with your boyfriend or whatever it is. Why take the next leap?
I feel so bad for this girl sitting across from Candace Owens. Candace Owens is such a nasty human being that she's going to attack this girl just because she's not religious. By the way, her shirt says made in hell. I love it. Attack her relationship, devalue her relationship and say, you don't deserve to get married because you're not religious. Therefore, your relationship can't be taken to the next level. Okay.
If you're wearing crosses for fun and,
I mean, if you're actually asking the question, I mean, because then I would just be pledging the fact that I would want to be with them forever.
It's a promise. It's a ceremony. If we must look up the definition of a ceremony to appease Candace Owens, it can be religious or it can just be a public occasion, typically one celebrating a particular event or anniversary. The winners were presented with their prizes at a special ceremony. Traditions are important to people, to culture. We have, even though she's going to love this, we have evolved to be very communal as a species. And these things to celebrate or mark special events are extremely important to our mental health and well-being. And when people get married and start a family together, that unity is incredibly important, even without Jesus.
But you can just be with them forever. So what is it that you crave that when you want to get married? What's that next step for you? What does it mean? What's the difference between dating and marriage?
Because it's a commitment.
Is dating not a commitment?
It's a commitment, but it's saying...
It's obviously a more intense commitment. Some people choose not to take that next step, and that's fine. But if you do want to do that, and that is something that's a tradition that's important to you, why? Why must Candace Owens be so judgmental and condescending all of the time?
But it's solidifying it.
Okay, solidifying what? Because if
solidifying a bond between two people that love each other.
I mean, this girl, I feel bad for her, but she totally kicked Candace's ass in this debate. I feel like she made Candace look like a moron because she's like, because it's a bond between two people who love each other. It's like the most basic answers that Candace is just not able to get through her head. I've said this in video after video of mine, but the family unit and marriage and having kids, all of these things are not just for religious people, okay? I happen to be an atheist. I'm happily married. I have 2 kids. I literally live in the middle of the Bible Belt. I fit all these stereotypes that one would ascribe to like a Christian woman, but I'm not because I'm a person and people want these things. People have these values that are not necessarily based in religion. And guess what? I hate to break it to you, but marriage itself is not necessarily based in religion. It actually predates religion. That's right. It existed before Jesus. A long, long time ago, y'all. Before Jesus. These comments are funny. Marriage isn't just for religious people. Amen. See what I did there? Sorry, but as a Christian, I'm still saying, Candace, stop acting like Christianity is the gatekeeper of marriage. Thank you. Candace Owens is not winning this argument. She never does. This is actually a bigger topic than just Candace. People actually ask this question a lot. On Reddit, it says, why do atheists get married? I know the answer, it's because it's just a normal thing to do. Like everyone else is doing it, why shouldn't I? I mean, like human beings, like I said, human beings enjoy bonds and commitment and ceremonies and traditions. It's not just because Joe Schmo across the street's doing it. It's just that we're all human beings, right? We're all sharing this experience. Skipping to the bottom here, I am convinced that if 2 atheists marry, or 1 Christian or any other religion marries an atheist, the atheist would just cheat most of the time, right? Because where's our morality? We don't have it. Secular morality isn't what influences our culture, it's Jesus. Because there is zero reason not to unless they have married a supermodel. What? After all, why is infidelity wrong and the atheists believe that nothing is objectively right or wrong? All right, I say this, I feel like I'm a broken record, but secular morality is what everyone lives their life on. If we truly followed the morals of the Bible, we would be stoning each other for sinning, right? The Bible is not a moral book. If you really read the Bible, man, it's a scary place to be. We as a human species tend to base our actions on what is culturally acceptable at the time of the space that we're living in at the time. It's based on secular morality. Do you really think Christian people don't cheat? Rates of divorce are not higher if you're an atheist. We've got atheists that are responding to this, just trying to justify that they just want to have a commitment with somebody. They want to solidify that. This person even specifically mentions ceremony ceremonies like I was talking about earlier, ceremonies that mark meaningful events. They talk about how they've never cheated and they believe their husbands never cheated. It's so sad that as an atheist you have to be like, I promise I'm not murdering people in the streets. This person says, the biggest reason is for love. Non-Christians and Christians alike marry because they love someone. Do we really have to explain this? Come on. All this in mind, I do believe this next answer truly sums up the core of the atheist values and why we do what we do. So if you're really curious, guys, pull out a notebook, jot down some notes. This will really help clear a lot up for you. While it is true atheists may eat the babies of rival groups, they are known to be very loyal within their own groups. Their mating rituals are quite elaborate. Often they circle each other in brightly colored costumes, drawing closer to their mating prospects. Like many birds, it is the females who choose a mate from the crowd of suitors, swiping right when she sees one that seems to be compatible of best giving her the fittest offspring. Once the selection is made, they coo treasured phrases in each other's ears, often quoting Dawkins. This is actually somewhat close to what I did. Big fan of Dawkins. Once the pair is fully bonded, they may seek a nesting ground with others of their kind, a Comic-Con being a popular destination. It is said most of them mate for life. I've also been at a Comic-Con. There's a whole video of me harassing religious protesters at a Comic-Con, if you want to see that. Oh God, we still have 2 more. All right, next YouTube short.
I'm an atheist. I don't believe in about 2,700 gods. Christians don't believe in 2,699.
Yes.
So they're nearly as atheistic as me.
Yes. That's right.
Some weird guy a few thousand years ago said so. It's ludicrous. I mean, it seems laughable.
My challenge for atheists is this. When you're dealing with the topic of God's existence, Jesus' resurrection, the evidence for the Bible, that sort of thing, no sarcasm, no self-righteous posturing allowed. I think if you watch a debate between a Christian and an atheist, you will see that the vast majority of the stuff that comes off the atheist side is sarcasm and self-righteous posturing.
So this man made a video about how atheists are condescending and are rude and used Ricky Gervais as an example.
So they're nearly as atheistic as me.
Yes.
I don't think he's being an asshole here. I think that this is just a true statement, and it's interesting to think about. But okay, next clip.
It's ludicrous. I mean, it seems laughable.
I mean, yeah, so this is funny to me because I agree with him. I could see how like a religious person might be like a little butthurt over it. But even in this clip, it's not like he's being over the top like mean. He's not being cruel.
When you're dealing with the topic of God's existence, Jesus' resurrection, the evidence for the Bible, that sort of thing, no sarcasm, no self-righteous posturing allowed.
So that's interesting. I will admit, a lot of atheistic content can be very sarcastic. That's just, it's hard not to be sometimes when the topic of discussion is so supernatural and ridiculous seeming to so many of us. But I personally do try when I'm having like actual conversations with another person who's religious, I try to have the most calm demeanor and present my arguments in a way that gets through to people. I personally, in conversations with religious people, have found a lot of that coming from them. Acting like they're better than me. They're more moral than me. Like, why would I even like not cheat if I'm an atheist? Where like, you know, kind of a thing. Like, if you're treated like you have no morality and that your life is less than those who are religious constantly, it does start to feel a little bit frustrating when you hear someone like this say, oh, well, atheists are, you know, self-righteous. Atheists are pissed off a lot of the time. Atheists are sarcastic. Atheists can be condescending in their commentary of certain things. But I do find in conversations with religious people, it's not necessarily that way. It's very much the opposite.
I think if you watch a debate between a Christian and an atheist, you will see that the vast majority of the stuff that comes off the atheist side is sarcasm and self-righteous posturing.
Sarcasm, yes. Self-righteous posturing. When you think of someone who is religious versus someone who is non-religious, the self-righteousness definitely comes from the religious side. I mean, particularly with debates. Like, did you see my debate where I debated a preacher? Go watch that if you haven't seen it. It's got like millions of views. I never expected this video to do well when I posted it because I thought I was debating this guy who at the time was not that successful, but now he's like blown up because of how ridiculous he is. But like literally any of the Girl Defined videos I've reacted to, they are so self-righteous and so judgmental of people who don't think like them, who don't do as they say. It's just interesting that this guy is saying that people who aren't religious are the ones who are so self-righteous.
And if you just take those two things away, that kind of mockery and scoffing, it has a very different effect on you. And you can maybe see clearly enough to at least weigh the evidence thoughtfully.
I'm willing to hear someone's beliefs, but I will not call those beliefs evidence. Some of the comments: of all the atheist people you could have chosen to criticize for sarcasm, mockery, and scoffing, you picked a comedian. Exactly. Yes, religious people famously are never self-righteous. Y'all are reading my mind. I'm an atheist, and I agree that sarcasm and mockery do not have a place in honest dialogue. Difficult to debate against magic without laughing a little. I mean, yeah, it is difficult. You should still try to do it. And I did a really damn good job when I debated that preacher. Oh man, did I bite my tongue. Okay, last one, let's go. This one is by far the most ridiculous. Get ready. And by ridiculous, I mean like this story did not happen. This guy is making this up. Let's react to a video of a Christian making up a very, very untrue story.
A preacher was standing in a busy university courtyard warning students about the consequences of sin and rebellion against God. Well,
that's such a nice way to put it. He was just warning them of their consequences. No, I've seen this, guys. When I was in college, there was always someone there being like, you're going to hell if you do this. You look like you do probably 6 things that are bad, and you look like you're LGBTQ. Definitely ending up in the fiery pits of hell if you're LGBTQIA. Not kidding. That's actually probably a pretty accurate representation of what I went to college with.
While sharing his faith with a crowd of intent listeners.
Okay, here's spot the first lie. A crowd of intent listeners. I don't think so. When there was that crazy guy yelling at my college, everyone just tried to like cover their face and walk by him as fast as they possibly could. Every now and again, someone would be offended enough to tell him to like go F off, but that was kind of it. There was never like a large crowd of intent listeners just absorbing all the knowledge of hate.
He was interrupted by a Christian student who went out of his way to explain, I want everyone to know that not all Christians are like this judgmental preacher here. God is love.
That I do believe could be something that happened. Yes, there would be the person offended telling the guy to F off, but there would often also be the religious person that was like, you don't represent me.
Just then, an atheist from among the crowd of listeners spoke up. In front of everyone, the atheist told the student, I've seen you here every day on campus, and not once have you ever shared with me about the consequences of sin.
Yeah, no atheist would ever say that. You have not told me yet that you think I'm going to hell for not being religious. What's up with that, man? I want that. I want you to tell me I'm going to hell. How come you haven't hated on me yet?
I can only conclude one of 2 things. Either you don't really love me, or you don't really believe what you say you believe.
Okay. You person who doesn't know me, who walks by me every day, what, you don't love me? The arrogance, but also, you don't believe what you say. What are you talking about? He literally just interrupted the guy to say, this doesn't represent me, essentially. God is love, right? He doesn't believe that God is sending people to hell for being who they are, or whatever the reason, whatever their sins are. Clearly, he's saying he doesn't believe that. So this makes no sense. He can be a Christian and not believe this part of it. People are that all the time. There's different levels of Christianity. There's people who accept certain things, don't accept other things. Sure, it is cherry picking to a degree. I'm not a huge fan of it, but you can't tell me that there aren't Christians out there who reject the preachers who say these judgmental things and reject that mentality. That's actually probably the majority of Christians.
The Bible says that God is not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. One of the most loving things you can do for an unbeliever is lovingly warn them of their wicked ways.
Lovingly tell them they're gonna burn in hell forever for being gay, for example. I laugh, but I know that that's how these people truly believe. At least some people truly believe this way. And if you truly believe someone is going to hell, it is coming from a place, sadly, it's coming from a place of love that they say that. And that's something I try to remind myself of when I hear people say these incredibly hateful things. I try to have some compassion for them because I remind myself that they're so friggin' scared and they've been so brainwashed to truly believe that other people are gonna burn forever. That's terrifying. So of course they're gonna say something. My heart kind of breaks for them to like live with that torment in their mind all the time. Like imagine truly thinking that about the world around you. Dear Lord, that I don't believe in. That's a lot. But back to my point, no atheist ever would approach someone and say, you don't love me because you haven't told me I'm going to hell yet. Like that just would not happen, y'all. Some of the comments, an atheist would literally never say that. They'd probably look you dead in the eye and walk off. This man has definitely never met an atheist before. Yeah, just ridiculous. A ridiculous conversation. And those are the 5 videos that the first 5 searched atheist, guys. And the first 5 shorts were those. Those were the first 5 representing atheism. Dear God, that I don't believe in, that is sad. You know, like 10 plus years ago, I've been on YouTube a long time. When I started this channel, one of my biggest motivations when I really got into it was to destigmatize atheists and the lack of belief in God, because I grew up so religious. There was so much pressure on me to hold those beliefs that I just truly did not connect with. And I was lying to myself about it for so long, and I felt so much pressure to conform and be this person I just wasn't. And when I dropped that belief and when I was outspoken of not holding that belief anymore, the amount of judgment I faced was intense, to say the least. You know, when you grow up a certain way and your family is that way and your community is that way, you have to walk away from a lot of connections, a lot of the, you know, community that you have ingrained yourself in. It's hard to detach from all those things and face the judgment from people that you probably love and care about. That is tough. I thought maybe we were getting to the point where it was more widely accepted, where people weren't so ignorant about it and judgmental. But when the first 5 videos that represent atheism pop up, and they are the way that they are, it makes me very sad. And it makes me realize that my job here is definitely not done. I'm not retiring anytime soon. I'm gonna be an old, decrepit lady on YouTube still talking about being an atheist. Oh wait, I already am old and decrepit. Even older, if I even have any brain cells remaining at that point. And I'm so sorry to all of you if these videos hurt your brain. They certainly hurt my brain. Reminder to check out Magic Mind. Maybe that will help you stay focused and keep your energy throughout the day and not fall into the tunnel of despair from watching videos like this. Again, check out the link top of my description below and use my code JacquelineGlenn20. But that's all the good news I have to say, because I am utterly depressed that when you search for atheism, you just get a bunch of crap because people still don't get it. They still don't get it. They still think that we don't have morals, that we shouldn't be able to get married, that it's a belief system. That one irks me the most. Even though it's the least like hateful, it pisses me off the most. Atheism is not a belief system. Damn it. Down it straight to hell. All right, guys, please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Also, I intend to chop this video up and post each reaction as a short. I've never really dabbled in YouTube shorts before, so if you could like find those, like those, share those, it would really mean a lot to me to try to help get this channel rolling more. The shorts seem to be where it's at lately. YouTube promotes them, they put them at the top. Also, TikTok is sort of a big platform for a lot of people. I'm gonna post these on TikTok, so please follow me on TikTok and find my shorts on here. It's hard to get the word out on atheism when people don't wanna search atheism. It's not like a trending topic. Liking this video in particular would help a lot, leaving a comment, sharing it, and then again, look for that short form content on TikTok and YouTube. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.